A BBC team recently visited areas near the hotspot of conflict on the Pokrovsk front in the Donetsk region. The constant threat from UAVs, according to the BBC, what the team immediately noticed when they arrived in the town of Rodinska was a burning smell. The cause was a 250 kilos glide bomb that had just fallen in the area. From the edge of the town, artillery and gunfire were heard. Ukrainian soldiers tried to shoot down Russian unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. Rodinsky is located about 15 kilometers north of Pokrovsk. Since last fall, Russia has tried to attack Pokrovsk from the south, but has been repeatedly blocked by Ukraine. Now Moscow has changed tactics. Instead of attacking directly, the Russian army is trying to surround the city, cutting off its supply routes. According to the BBC, as soon as the team arrived in Rodinsky, a Russian drone appeared overhead. The group scrambled for cover. A large tree trunk was the closest. As they pressed themselves against the trunk to avoid detection, a loud bang was heard. It appeared that a second drone had attacked nearby. The first UAV was still hovering in the sky. Its eerie, screeching sound overwhelmed all senses. That BBC described it as the sound of the most terrifying weapon in the conflict. When the drones could no longer be heard, the group rushed to an abandoned building about 30 meters away to find more solid shelter. The fact that Rodinske was surrounded by UAV showed the immense pressure that Russia was creating on the Pokrovsk front. After waiting for half an hour in the abandoned house when it was certain that the threat was gone, the reporters continued their journey to Belitska, another town, the weapon that changed the conflict in Ukraine, in a safe house beyond the range. Of the UAVs, reporters met soldiers from the artillery unit of Ukraine's 5th Assault Brigade. You can feel the intensity of the Russian attack increasing. Rockets, mortars, UAVs, they are using everything they can to cut off the supply lines to Pokrovsk, said Serhiy. Serhiy's unit had to wait 3 days to deploy to defensive positions on the front lines, hoping that the weather, thick clouds or strong winds, would help hide their movements from the UAVs. In an ever-changing conflict, soldiers are forced to adapt quickly to new technological threats. The most pressing threat today is the UAV using fiber optic cables. A reel of cable dozens of kilometers long is attached to the bottom of the UAV, connecting directly to the controller in the operator's hand. The video and control signals are transmitted via cable, not radio. That means they cannot be jammed by electronic warfare systems, explains a soldier nicknamed Moderator, a UAV engineer with the 68th Jaeger Brigade. Previously, both sides used electronic warfare systems to disable UAVs, but that advantage has disappeared with UAVs using fiber optic cables, and Russia now has the upper hand in deploying them. Russia used fiber optic cables long before us, when we were still testing them. These UAVs can operate at low altitudes, even sneaking into narrow buildings to find targets, says Venya, another Ukrainian soldier. We started joking that we should bring scissors to cut their cables, says Serhiy. These UAVs also have disadvantages. They fly slower, and the cables can easily get tangled in trees. But now Russia's widespread use of UAVs with fiber optic cables makes moving troops to and from positions more dangerous than engaging in combat. When you get into position, you don't know if you've been spotted by enemy UAVs. And if you are, it could be your last hours. Sergeant Oles of the 5th Assault Brigade's reconnaissance unit said of the biggest threat today, because of the threat from UAVs, Ukrainian soldiers are forced to stay in position much longer than before, and resupply is also a challenge. The team met 2 Ukrainian soldiers named Oles and Maxim at a country house that has been converted into a temporary base. The longest I've been here was 31 days, but I know people who have been there for 90, even 120 days, Maxim said. What we experienced here was blood, death, mud, and bone-chilling cold. Once we didn't sleep for 3 days, we were always on alert. Oles said the tactics of the Russian infantry had also changed. Before, they attacked in groups. Now they send 1 or 2 men. They use motorcycles, even quad bikes. Sometimes they get through our defenses. This has made the front line in some areas less like a clear boundary between the two sides and more like a chessboard, with positions interwoven. Although Russia has made some progress, taking control of the entire Donetsk region, where Pokrovsk is located, will not be easy or quick. Ukraine is fighting back fiercely, but to maintain its position, it needs a steady supply of weapons and ammunition.